Are you or someone you know looking to buy or sell a home? When you use a HomeGain Realtor to buy or sell a home, you can get $150. Visit HomeGain.com and click on the Promo 150 banner at the top of the page to get started. Compare HomeGain Realtors and choose your favorite. Complete your home purchase or sale transaction with a HomeGain Realtor, and HomeGain will pay you $150. Get started today by going to HomeGain.com. Welcome back, everyone, to Real Estate 360 Live. I'm your host, Ryan Sloper, joined by my guest, Louis Cammarosano, the general manager of HomeGain. Quick reminder, Real Estate 360 is designed to build the Washington, D.C. Metro's housing credit markets. If you ever have any questions or concerns or real estate needs, the best number to reach out to us is 877-245-2030. That's 877-245-2030. That's anything in reference to real estate, your credit, finance, your situation that you just need help figuring out. If I don't know the answer, I'd be glad to point you in the direction of the professional that can help you. Again, that number is 877-245-2030. It looks like, Louis, there's been some good news as far as Realty Track had actually sent out some statistics that short sales actually hit a 3-year high in the first quarter of this year, which is up 25%. Lenders are approving more aggressively priced short sale, which in turn is resulting in more successful short sales. I think that, this is something that should have happened 3 or 4 years ago. Banks are finally, they're just getting smart. It's okay. Why spend, the average foreclosure is going to cost you, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000? Just short sale the property. It's a win-win for all parties involved. The bank, because they don't have to go through the foreclosure process. They don't have to worry about these faulty, not always faulty, but these foreclosure claims that people did or did not sign things, the robo-signing scandals. It allows for the homeowner to exit out of the property without actually having a foreclosure hit there. It's good for all parties involved. I just hope that this is a continuing trend.
I agree, Ryan. It's a free market kind of solution. But one question I have is, given that the banks really, because they're wards of the state and because they took bailout money, I wonder if some homeowners are going to bring lawsuits, because we live in a litigious society, that the short sale that was offered to them was not on the same terms as the short sale that was offered to somebody else.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that happens. It really wouldn't. Like you said, we have these type of lawsuits popping up all over the place. The only thing is, I'm pretty sure that, the person doesn't have to agree to the terms that the bank sets forth. They get that approval letter, right?
Right, but they could say they weren't offered the same terms that somebody else
Some
was
sort
offered.
of discrimination, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be discrimination. It could be, based on, doesn't have to be based on race. It could be based on
income.
On anything.
Right. It could be based on income or whether, somebody has a job or doesn't have a job.
Right, and given that, a lot of the, normally these discrimination laws require state action, meaning the state has to be the one acting, not necessarily a private entity. But given that these banks are quasi-state actors, I can imagine some clever lawyer bringing one of these types of lawsuits, and that would put a whole damper on doing short sales.
Well, you know what I've seen. This is just in my dealings for the most part, Louis. But the people that are just trying to short sell their primary residence, I think that the majority of these banks, at least the ones that I've dealt with, have been pretty good at not coming after them for the deficiency judgments on primaries, right? So if it's an investor that's got 5 or 10 properties and he's trying to short sell his property, well, he's probably going to have an issue. Because
sure. Now you're asking. It's not an individual.
So I do feel
money to make a bad bet.
Right, and I do feel like they're. It seems like they're becoming a little bit more consistent as not coming after for deficiency or coming after them. But I do see your point, and I think that could be a problem down the road. Let's hope not, because I think that it's good that short sales continue.
Well, they probably have so many lawyers all over this anyway, so they probably have anticipated.
Yeah. There's a lawsuit
probably why
for
it takes
everything.
so long to start engaging in the short sale process.
Yeah, and then now after the whole robo signing scandal and whatnot, it's just like, okay, I think that the attorneys have said this is the best route to go, and because in a lot of cases, I've actually been seeing these banks are just starting to incentivize the homeowner, the seller, to short sell their home by giving them additional money just to do it.
Short sales are great, Ryan, because if you talk about affordable housing, it allows people to buy houses at a lower price and allows somebody who's made a mistake, who's overextended, some type of ticket out.
Yeah, and it also, in most of those contracts, it's written that, the seller can't take and tear up the property, you know what I mean, rip out appliances and do all the things that tend to happen with foreclosures. So, all in all, I mean, you're getting a better end product. You're getting it at a cheaper price. The bank's not having to go through the foreclosure process. It really is a win-win. I just hope that this trend continues. I do.
The best way to wear down inventory. The only thing is I think also the banks have accounting issues with doing short sales because now they have to recognize the loss.
Yep.
On their loan portfolio.
Yeah, and I think that, what I've been seeing lately, too, is that, we're seeing a lot more short sales where the people haven't actually missed a payment yet, which those are the ones that are a little bit more difficult because you do have to show that there's that impending hardship. So, it can be pretty testy there. You have to make sure all your I's are dotted, T's are crossed because, if you're trying to make up a hardship and you can't really prove it on paper, you're probably going to have a bit of an issue with getting your short sale approved. A lot of real estate agents, and they're just like, oh, yeah, the short sales are no problem. That's just not the case. If you've got a good, solid hardship, meaning, you're making less income than you were making before. So now your debt to income ratio is shot up and, you really can't with that and your groceries and your gas and everything else. You just can't afford to make the payment and you've got X amount saved up in your bank, but you're depleting your savings month after month. You have a hardship there. It's the same thing as like what I tell people like that are, struggling with all their credit card debt and everything else, and they feel like they're going to go bankrupt in the next 6 months because they're depleting their savings. Well, then you need to do something about it. Don't wait until the situation's so dire that you're basically forced into that, or forced into a worse situation, which would be in this case a foreclosure. It's proactive to reach out to professional and let them point you in the right direction, even if they can't help you. I'd be glad, if I have to push you to a bankruptcy attorney because, that's maybe what you need, then do that. But
you don't want people making their own self-determination that they can qualify for a short sale.
And I think that a lot of people do that. They bury their head in the sand and they feel like that's the best way to deal with things. They don't want to tell anybody. They're embarrassed. And I tell people all the time, this is like you have to start over. And the quicker that you can, get rid of the situation that you're in, you can start over.
And Ryan, I was, surprised a couple of shows back you actually went through what the short sale criteria are. If you have those handy, that'd be useful to go through them again. Or if people want to call you and you can run through them because some of them are quite surprising. I didn't think you'd qualify.
Yeah, I'll give everybody, if you'd like, if you want to just reach out to me, 877-245-2030. I actually have a document that I would be glad to email everybody. Go to my website at realestate360live.com, go to the Ask a Question button, and just put as a reference there that you would like the handout on short sales and the things that basically would say that you have a hardship or a good reason to be able to short sell your home. I'd be glad to email that to you in a PDF document so that you have it. It's realestate360live.com, or you can reach out to me at 877-245-2030. And like I said, a lot of people think that they don't have a hardship when they really do. If you're spending more money than you're taking in, you probably have a hardship. That's very, very basic. And, I think that with a lot of people that had adjustable rate mortgages and they were really over leveraged, they can't refinance now, they have mortgage insurance, they got all these things, and they have general maintenance on their home, they can't make make ends meet. So, for all parties involved, for the bank, for the seller, for everyone, I think that it's a good situation. And, I'd be glad to at least just sit down, look at your individual personal financial situation and say if you're a good fit. If you're not a good fit, then, you have to find an alternative still. Which hopefully is not going the route of foreclosure because, like I said, that's the worst case scenario. That's going to crush your credit for the most extended period of time. There's been clients that I've dealt with, like I said, that have never missed a payment and had their short sale go through smoothly. Nothing was reported on their credit report. And remember, it's only reported on your credit report as settled for a little less than amount due. But if you don't have the negative payment, meaning you're 30 days late,
a payment, right?
Yeah. If you don't have mortgage lates or late payments, then it's not affecting your credit score. Yeah, can somebody look on there, a bank, and say, "Oh, well, you had a short sale because it says settle for less than amount due"? Sure, they can, but it's not affecting your overall credit score, which is the majority of what your creditors for auto loans and credit card companies are going to be looking at. So this all comes into play with, making sure that you're working with somebody that's not just telling you, hey, you need to miss 30 to 60 days late on your payments before this short sale will go through, because that's just not the case. And it depends on what lender you're dealing with, whether you're dealing with Wells Fargo, Bank of America, a local bank. I mean, you have to have some experience in dealing with a lot of these different banks to kind of get an idea of what their process is and for what type of short sales are successful. We're coming up on the end of the show. Like I said, if you guys have any concerns regarding short sales versus foreclosure, you want that hardship letter, reach out to me at realestate360live.com. That's realestate360live.com. And if you're starting your home search and you're trying to connect with a good agent, if you're in the D.C. metro area, please reach out to me. It's 877-245-2030. Or nationwide, you can start your search at homegain.com. Where can they go to select, Lewis, to compare realtors against other realtors and then make their decision?
You go to homegain.com and you click on the Find a Realtor tab to the far left, and you can go to homegain.com and also check home values, homes for sale, and all of the surveys that we do on real estate, what realtors are thinking, what homeowners are thinking, whether to go FSBO or work with a realtor. You can also visit HomeGain on YouTube. A lot of the interviews that Ryan and I have, the shows are posted up on the HomeGain YouTube channel. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. So check us out at homegain.com on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.
Thanks, Lewis. I greatly appreciate it. You have a great week.
Thanks,
guys,
everyone.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back again next Monday at WNEW 1580 AM. If you have ever any questions, concerns, or real estate needs, the best number to reach out to me is 877-245-2030.